being too fixated on hitting the price target. I went from 4,000 back under 2,000 is because I was so focused on hitting that price target. And that's the thing. Don't focus on the money, focus on good trading.
How you doing, everybody? Another funded trader video with Trade the Pool, and today I have with me Vince. How you doing, Vince?
Doing great.
Great. So in this video, like always, what we're trying to do is showcase, obviously, the trading, the funded trader Vince here today. Besides that, try to help you guys that maybe sit on the fence or trying to pass the evaluation and didn't yet. Try to give you some tips or guidelines from guys that already did it and already making money while they're trading the funded account and basically splitting the profit with us. So let's start talking a little bit about your trading. Tell me a little bit about it, background. What did you try that didn't work? What are you doing now that works? Stuff like that.
So my background in trading, I've been kind of dabbling in trading for like the past 5 years. And what really kind of got me to where I would win a lot and then I would lose a lot was really FOMO. If you people don't know, it's a fear of missing out. And with me, I trade part-time. So a lot of times I would see plays going in action and I'll be at my actual, full-time job and I want to make a trade. However, me just wanting to get the trade in and not even paying attention to certain setups and stuff like that, I would end up losing a lot of money. Even though I knew it was a good trade, but because of the time of day and where I was at, it ended up turning into a loser for me. So now I've kind of taken that out of the equation and I only really trade when I'm off. Okay. And that way I don't have the distractions or I'm not feeling any anxiety about the trade. I can kind of trade with a clear head.
Okay, so you usually trade what, at the beginning of the day, the end of the day?
So if I'm looking, it depends what I'm looking for, right? So typically I trade the beginning of the day to even midday.
Okay.
After about like for me, I'm on Central Time here in the States. Okay. So after about 10 or 11, I'm pretty much done trading.
Wow, for the whole day.
Yeah. I'm pretty much done trading. I might come back because I typically try to get out of the whole, get away from my computer, my laptop. So I'll go work out. And if I come back around like 2-ish and I see like a stock going in the way I typically thought I was gonna go, like if it's having a bounce back to highs,
yeah,
I'll start watching it.
Right.
But typically I've noticed from the past is the more time you spend in the markets, the more time you overtrade, the more time you lose.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I mean, I saw it on myself as well in trading. Mm-hmm. And also, when you sit in front of a computer 6.5 hours a day, your brain is becoming more mushy,
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
not really focused with 100% on trading when you're just sitting and looking at every single chart and try to find the right setup. So definitely I like the idea that just to take those 2 hours, 3 hours and focus on them. And what about your trading? I'm looking at your dashboard right now. I'll share it in a second, the guys, but you trade like $15 stocks and $40 and $10. I mean, how do you find those trades that you want to take? How do you find the assets?
So with me, a lot of these stocks, I look for stocks that have had like news or that have moved up a certain percentage.
Yeah.
And a lot of these bigger stocks, they'll have good news, but they won't specifically act on the news right away. Okay. So you keep watching. And when they make the move, they'll make maybe $7 or something of a move. So I try to actually piggyback off that. And that's why a lot of my stocks are higher priced. In the past, I would do the real lower price stocks. Like the thing about them, yeah, pretty much penny stocks. The thing about them, they can move very, very fast. And sometimes when the float is so low and you have it rotating so many times that the move can just drop, it could drop really quick or it can spike really quick. So I tend to stay away from that because I know in the past that I've lost a lot of money on those type of plays. So with the higher price stocks, they tend not to drop as much. And also you can kind of see when the stock is starting to have trouble continuing with the say if it's grinding up, it'll start having trouble with going to new highs. And that's whenever you want to either take your profits and start in short, or just take your profits and just walk away if you're not really that versed in shorting the stock.
I see. And what's the setup that you're looking for? I mean, you're more into breakouts or pullbacks, reversals? What do you usually trade?
Typically, my I like breakouts. I feel like you can really get a lot of money on that, on the breakouts, the breakout portion of it
Hmm.
versus the actual breakdown. Because in the breakouts, you might get a stock that runs $2, $3, $4, $5. And in the breakdowns, you might have a stock pull back $1.50, but then it gets to a point to where people start dip buying the stock, and then it's gonna start coming back, and then it can even go to new highs. So you have to be careful in that. And typically shorting is very risky. Shorting's a lot more risky than buying. Buying, you can have more of a, you'll see more of the support, and also where it can, or where the breakout's about to occur before you actually buy it. And you can kind of see like the demand for the stock as far as like the volume, the influx of volume. And also I would caution too, when you're shorting, if you're shorting a stock and the volume is very, very light, I would be very careful shorting the stock. I would really be in and out the stock, because the minute volume starts picking up, you're going to get squeezed really quick.
I see. And okay, so looking at your dashboard, first of all, amazing job. I mean, you had a great run. You reached the pump as well, so that's also great. You did have like a drawdown right at the beginning, and then started to pick up. And I want to touch base on those two times when the price did break, or your account dropped a little bit, bounced up, and again sharp move to the downside until you picked up the pace again. So do you remember what caused you to go from 4,000 all the way to like 1,000, losing those 3,000?
Okay, and this is another thing that I would want to caution about is being too fixated on hitting the price target. And this was another reason why I actually lost. I went from 4,000 back under 2,000, is because I was so focused on hitting that price target to the point to where I ignored the actual setup and was trying and got into that process of holding and hoping. And after I just took that out of my head, like, like I have time to get this done. Let me just focus on good trades. And that's the thing. Don't focus on the money, focus on good trading, and the money will come. And
So
go ahead.
yeah, sorry. So in this situation, you basically try to wait a little bit more until you take your profit, and it just reversed on you, or
correct.
You had great runs. I mean, four runs in a row, solid on the quantity, around 3,000 on most trades. Joby was a great runner.
Right. And that was actually a breakout play that I made the most money on.
On Joby?
Yes. And I seen it. So I had, because a lot of times I use Finviz. Finviz is one of the websites I use to get these stocks that have ran previously.
Yeah.
And I seen Joby kind of running in the pre-market. So I started watching it. And a lot of these stocks, they tend to have a quick spike in the morning and then they drop. And I seen it start basing around $10. And I was like, it's not breaking $10. I think it went down to $9.91, but it didn't break. And I said, this looks like it can run. I forgot exactly what the news was, but the news seemed like it was positive. So I think I got in around 10, 12. and then I thought it was gonna do about I think $12, plus or minus $12. So it went up to I think 11.98, and it couldn't break 12. And once I seen that, I just sold the stock at the market price.
Yeah.
I think I made about think about almost close to 3,000 on that stock. I'm not sure.
In this case, almost 2000.
2,000. I think I had that 1,500 shares on there, or three today. I'm not sure.
3000 shares. Yeah.
3,000 shares. Okay. Yeah. So I got in at 10, and it ran to 11.98, and it just could not break 12.
Mm.
I mean, it couldn't break past that, and I got out. And I'm still actually watching that stock because I do think it has a chance of actually coming back. It just needs more demand for it.
How do you usually go about the news? Are you on pre-market watching the news? How do you filter it? Because there are many ways or many levels of news. What
Mhm.
is your style in this case?
My style typically is to see what the reaction to the news was, because a lot of these news plays, I'm not in it the exact same day.
Mm.
I'll see it. I'll see, hey, it's ran. I'll look at Finviz, the end of day, and I'll see, hey, this is up 20%. Why is it up 20%? Then I'll go and look and say, hey, it had such and such news. People reacted to it positively. I said, okay. Then I go and look at the intraday chart and see, okay, it ran to this point. Where has it ran in the past? What are the resistance levels? Where are a lot of people trapped in the stock at? Where do I think the stock might go? And do I think it can have a continuation? And how far has the stock ran? So I use this and I base that on what the stock does the next day. So if the stock goes red the next day, I might try to see if it can actually go back to some of the former highs of the day of. And if I see that it fails multiple times, then I'll get in for a short.
Hmm.
But if I see it start basing, like it can't break down a previous level, it's just not breaking down, then I'll start looking to get in for a dip buy or take a position and see if you can actually go back towards the high of the day before and possibly have a breakout.
Okay, interesting. So in most cases, you will skip the first day of the news and just follow it for the few days later.
Yes, because typically the first day you're kind of unsure what the stock is going to do. And it might have a huge run. It might have a very, very big run. And you might actually mess yourself up trying to play that
Hmm.
because the stock might not go crazy and spike right out the gate. It might actually drop, and you're so twisted on the move because you think it's going to run, but you actually take a loss.
Hmm.
You know, and then it'll do what you thought it was going to do. It'll follow your thesis later on. So and a lot of these stocks I typically don't have on my watch list the first day the news breaks. So I'll have to actually go back and look and see what these stocks are that are running.
Okay, so basically at the end of the day, you'll go through like Finviz, as you said, and
Finviz, I'll do Finviz. I actually look through Twitter as well. Twitter is actually a very great way to actually see what's running and who is like interested in this stock. Because
hmm,
you might not even get, because people on Twitter, some people have very quick access to this news. So you might see it on Twitter and be able to actually come up with a play. And typically Finviz, Yahoo Finance, just all these sites that are kind of great with news and seeing what's going on.
nice. That's a great way to look at it as well. Instead of I guess most people getting into the position right away when a stock is reporting or anything like that, just out of FOMO, as you said before.
Mhm.
They just fear of missing that next opportunity, the big jump. But actually waiting maybe for the second day or like a second day play could be even better after you see what happened on that big news move.
Correct. And a lot of times, a lot of traders might not even be in it the first day. So you might have a bigger move the second day.
Mhm.
So that's why I always say like you kind of wait for it and you have a better chance of actually getting the win because you can kind of see the reaction to the news better. Because when this news comes out, sometimes it takes a while for people to actually see it. And then you'll get the bigger moves, the bigger percent gains.
Nice.
Um, trying to think of a stock in particular. I think a stock that's kind of moving right now is AAOI. And I
Okay.
think that actually had news last week. And I think it was trading around $4 last week or so. I think it's close to I think it's at $9 today.
That's insane. I didn't look at.
Yeah, so you'll you'll start to see and actually I seen it off of Finviz.
Okay.
A few of like last week I seen off Finviz. So just even those looking at those 10% gain, 15% gains. And Finviz has its own screener that where you can actually look and see these stocks that are running. I mean, even like when AI was real big, you know, I remember AI being at $14 and then it had that run to 35 and people thought the run was over. And then I know actually it had the run to $28 and then it had a lot of people got in short on it and it was down for weeks and weeks and weeks. And then now look at AI, it's over 40.
Yeah, the whole industry of AI, basically.
Right. Which is it's pretty insane.
Yeah. Okay. Any last thing to say for the guys at home sitting on the fence, maybe, about the process with Trade the Pool? How do you like the program? How do you like the evaluation? Everything we bring?
I would say the evaluation is actually a good thing because it helps you develop your skills. Like I said, I've been trading for 5 years and I've done a lot of dumb things in my career to where I've gained a lot of money and I lost a lot of money. And one thing is you got to kind of take the wanting to make a lot of money out of the equation and just focus on the setup. Make a watch list at night. Go through your watch list. Say, hey, what would I do at this level? What would I do at that level? What's my plan whenever I do see these stocks go? Where am I going to get out at? What I expect the stock to do.
Hmm.
I mean, you got to kind of not necessarily play it too conservatively, but you got to kind of not be greedy and not expect the stocks is going to go to the moon. Like that's unrealistic.
Hmm.
I mean, you might have stocks that do run crazy, but those are outliers. So my thing is like, say, hey, if you get into a stock and you think, hey, I can have $1 or two upside. Okay, keep that in mind. And if it's not reaching the full $2 upside, take $1.50 or take $1 of upside. Just pay attention to the price action and what the stock is doing. Don't let your thesis rule you and make you make dumb decisions.
That's definitely a key and super important for the guys at home and any trader to recognize and pay attention to, definitely. Okay, wonderful, Vince. So good luck. Obviously, hopefully we'll get you the first check right away, very soon.
Oh, that sounds great.
And feel free to support the guys in the Discord community. A lot of them are very thirsty for more guys that pass in the evaluation, and they shared some important tools or tips that you learn along the way, and you have the experience. So definitely do
I
that.
definitely need I definitely I need to get back into Discord. I haven't used the Discord platform for so long, but I'm definitely gonna start kind of tapping in. I got my notifications on now again, so I can kind of see what's going on. So definitely gonna be in there a lot more.
Sounds good. All righty. So best of luck. Thanks so much for
Thank
the
you, my friend.
interview.
Thank you
Take
for
care.
having me. Y'all take care.
Bye.